Hey folks, we're back, and Diosodi, I would love to say yes to the $150 for a real life Fartooth, man, but I can't. I just can't. Same people who offer us money for like portraits and Fartooths, it's just we want to keep it special. If we start selling out and giving them away for money, then I feel it takes away that special factor for them. So really adamant on not doing it. So I don't know whether it's a joke offer or a serious offer, but a serious answer is no. But thank you for the offer. I do have some shout outs to do while we're waiting. The personal shout outs, just to get these out of the way. My Patreon supporters, I would like to give a big thank you to Tom KD, Alice, Jumper Legs, Marish, and Bobble Convolutes. If you guys are a Patreon of mine and you haven't, make sure to write your name on that post I made recently so I can shout you out regularly on the stream. But yesterday we actually had Therminator for the first time ever claim one of the higher tier rewards where you can join in a game and spectate live the finals, listen to me and Zombie Grub in real time and not in stream delay. And he seemed to enjoy it. I can't tell you guys all of what happened, but there's some behind the scenes stuff that went on during the commercial breaks that he got to hear, I guess. What is this? Snow Python says, BaseTradeTV, hey, I was thinking of 3D printing a lit up Fartooth Base Trade logo. Interested? I mean, if I don't have to pay anything for it, sure. It'd be cool.
So, I guess we'll wait for Snoot to come back. AFK, I guess. I got my PS4 yesterday. It was like 1 day shipping. It was pretty cool, right?
Oh, I thought you already had it, like with the Nook and everything. So you only just got it today, or yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, the guy didn't even ring the doorbell. I was wondering when it was gonna come.
Dude, they don't do that anymore. They just leave the package at the front door. Like,
so I looked out, and then it had come like 2 hours earlier, and I didn't hear anything. So, anyways, I get it, and I don't know. I'm not like disappointed, and I realize it's my fault for thinking this, and it's not gonna, make me think that it was a waste of money or anything. But I didn't think it through, and I forgot that PlayStation has not been doing backwards compatibility for anything in a long time.
Oh, so like you can't play any games?
Yeah, because honestly, I knew PS3 didn't go to PS2 unless you got the very first version or whatever that was, like a long time ago. But I kind of figured that PS4 would go to PS3. That's not the case.
Nope.
So I had to buy all new games. And also, what really sucks is that the PSN games also don't go from PS3 to PS4, which I think is really cool.
Actually, I remember this. There was a lot of talk about backwards compatibility and the way you could own games and stuff too with the Xbox One versus PS4 and stuff. Actually, I had forgotten about this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot about it too, really, because I have not been in a console state of mind in a very long time. Like,
we've had great PCs. Why would we need consoles?
Right. Like, I was sitting on the floor and I was like, I forgot the feeling of holding a controller looking up at the TV. But anyway, so I was really I was most disappointed with the PSN things. Like, I already have enough trouble keeping track of all my games on the the cloud or whatever you want to call it for both Nintendo as well as the PSP and all that. But I was like, really? Seriously? So you have to rebuy it all. There's only some that can actually be transferred because apparently they put in a very lightweight emulator, but not a good enough one or something like that to actually do all PS1 games. But this makes me the most disappointed. Again, I don't regret buying it because I'm going to play PS4 games, but the most disappointed I could get was when I learned that Xbox 360 was backwards compatible. Or sorry, Xbox One was backward compatible to 360. I was like, no! Microsoft is not supposed to be better. God damn it.
Well, rather than get caught up in the frustration of that, just look forward to the Kingdom Hearts and the other things you're going to get exclusive because you get the PS4.
I want to play Until Dawn, and there's this really cool the Shadow of Colossus looking game that came out.
You need to do a personal fundraiser for a capture card. I would love to watch you play Until Dawn.
I have a capture card, actually. I bought one a long time ago.
Oh, well, there you go.
But you don't actually need one for PS4. I could technically stream it from PS4, just not with anything fancy on it. But yeah. That's the plan.
Okay, so real quick, before we get into this is the grand finals of the Corsair Comp week number 2. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. This is, of course, powered by Twitch. Whoop, whoop. But we have an interesting question in chat from Gobo420. Says, if you take a break and then sub again, do you reset the 12 months? Unfortunately, the answer to that is yes. And that's not because we want to be dicks about it, but we set the precedent with that early, so we have to keep enforcing it now. There is technology and ways to actually check and confirm and verify from the past, but because we did say this to the first, year of people asking, we have to keep that in place. So unfortunately, if you do stuff for 2 months, stop for a month and come back, you will start over at 1. But we have so many of these Fartooths, guys. We want to get rid of them. So please Please sub to us. We want to give them away. But okay. Game number 1, kicking it off in the top right. He is coming cross server to Europe, playing from Korea. It's the Blue Terran player KeeN.
In the top left is the red Zerg. He is Liquid Snoot.
Of course, prize money for first and second place. So who wins this best of 5? $60 to the winner, US, $20 to the loser. But more importantly, the winner pretty much gets a guaranteed invite to the monthly finals at the end of the month. Top 8 people invited back will compete for $400 over there.
Nice.
I'm excited for that too because it's going to be a little bit more of a controlled setting. We'll know the matches ahead of time. We won't be like guessing and hoping for signups because, oh boy, that was some drama this morning. But it's going to be really cool because we get to invite really good players back. For those who don't know, Sort of and Optimus the Terran player we got to see earlier today briefly, are the 2 guys who are pretty much already in from their first...
I'm not going to drunk. Oh, on the hot scale, I'm a 10, baby.
Thank you, Zombie. From their first Corsair Cup. But the second one will determine... I think Snoot and KeeN will definitely have the points as long as they keep playing, but one's going to get in for sure through this victory.
Mm-hmm.
Also, who was that? $10 from Pentarp. So Zombie, you look like the protagonist from 100. You're my Wanhida.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what that is.
I used to watch the 100, and I can't remember it anymore.
Oh.
I stopped watching it when it got really kind of convoluted.
Bobble convoluted, perhaps?
Yeah, exactly. I know he's talking about though, and she is pretty. Clark. Yeah, I was like Claire wasn't quite correct. Clark. Yeah. Well, thank you, I guess.
Oh.
Are you saying something about me?
You actually got a compliment to stick to Zombie Group. I'm impressed. I'm gonna have to take notes.
He chose the right show, I guess. I really liked the 100. And I probably should continue watching it, but they did the stupidest thing. Oh my god, did you watch Buffy?
Yeah, I love Buffy.
Oh, okay. So you know that really stupid thing with the when they killed what's her face's girlfriend, and how they did it?
Willow or whatever.
Yeah, the whole they fought with the gun and then the shot went off and it somehow directly went to her. Yeah, they did that levels of stupid with killing off a character.
Did you ever see? It got mimicked, and more people have seen like the spoof of it than the actual event. But the OC thing where they shoot Ryan or whatever. It's like, what you say?
No.
No? Are you serious? Because it's the only thing dumber than that when it comes to like stupid gunshot incident. Okay, whatever. I will have to find this clip for you later because I can't believe you haven't even seen the parody of this. But we do have a really nice message in chat while we wait for things to heat up. Thank you to, again, Donald Trump. I think this is the meat guy from earlier. Send me some ham. Seriously, BaseTradeTV, thank you for a great day. We are stuck at home because of a bad ice storm, and this has been fantastic. Great way to make America drumpf again. Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed the show, and hopefully that ice storm keeps your meats nice and refrigerated for you. I guess? Question mark? I don't know.
No spoiled ham for them.
It's been terrible with the it's not been snowing so much, but the ice hasn't gone away in almost 2 weeks. So the snows are just still, or the roads are still terrible to drive on, and the sidewalks are dangerous to walk on.
It doesn't feel like winter where I'm at. It's like 50 degrees.
It's weird because I watch a lot of Australian streamers because, of course, I just love everybody from Australia, and they have summer, so they're like sweating and like have air conditioning on and stuff. I'm like, what?
Crazy how the world works.
Wow.
All right, so Snoot, you obviously played very well against Alive 2-0.
I'm not gonna drunk. Oh, on the hot scale, I'm a 10, baby.
Some kind of weird ways. But the point is, he just absolutely demolished him, and KeeN actually sometimes doesn't look as good as Alive. So I would expect Snoot to demolish KeeN in a similar manner.
This drop is not gonna get much done. I do want to point out Snoot does have an abnormally large amount of queens again. He's actually gone for 10 actively. Maybe this is his new standard. I don't know. Snoot's been experimenting with a lot of different things in a lot of different matchups, but maybe 10 queens is just worth the investment over making an extra 15 or 20 lings. Because I guess you know you're not going to really counterattack with them. And queens are just going to pay off better later on if you're aiming for ultras. That's an extra 7 units transfusing opposed to like barely 6. I don't know. Like there's a lot of potential I see with these queens, but whether they're worth the investment or not, it'll depend on whether Snoot wins the game. But Mr. Boris Makarov hits us up with $10 to say, oh, hi. What's up, Mr. Boris Makarov? Hope you're doing well.
Oh, hi. Yeah, so, I mean, you see, Snoot had continued making queen. Oh, no, he's continued making queens. Never mind. Well, he had stopped droning in the the last game that we saw of him versus Terran at like 48, and just kept on making lings and lings and lings. And it was apparently because he knew Eli was going to 2-base all in. KeeN, not the same deal. I guess he saw that it was double engineering bay, and third base obviously is going on location. And Snute, yeah, it just depends on Queens to hold on. If there is a follow-up attack, if 2 medevacs come running in with more Marines, 50 lings and 10 Queens would be able to take care of it. And he's at a pretty comfy spot. 62 drones and a 4th base on the way. Maybe get like 8 more as the 4th base finishes. Macro hatch rate even. He should have a very strong ramp up in like a minute.
Ooh, nice snipe on that medevac too, by the way. Doesn't even lose a queen to do it. Again, like, whether these extra 3 queens that are above average are just for creep tumors, the extra transfuses, the thing is, queens have an abnormally large amount of health for the cost of the unit, so they can take hits. They can soak those marine shots while they dive in for those medevacs, but Snoot will need a little bit more than just queens as more Marines have rallied to the front line. There's only 4 banlings and they're about to get sniped.
Oh, maybe. Nope. Oh, and the queens come in, and oh my god, 10 queens come out so quickly.
To quote TLO, you know, queens say, "If I can't fly, nobody else can," and that's kind of the case here.
That was a very good tweet of his. A+ in there. So the Spire now comes down. I mean, like it's such a relief when these things happen, where you know after pushing back an attack of that nature, like he did.
That magnitude even. That was a big attack.
Yeah, you just know you're good for a while. So you go back to macro. You start everything. Burrow, Baneling speed, Overlord speed, upgrades, Aspire. You start getting stacked defenses as well. And KeeN, he loses like, what, 40 seconds on momentum? And that's actually like a huge deal. Plus, even if he had momentum, he still wouldn't have many units because he just lost so many. So even if he pushes forward here, it's not a very scary army. It's 30 army supply down almost. And of course, a lot of creep spread also that depend on to buy him time if he needs it. Oh, and KeeN, I thought he went for double engineering bay. Did he just forget +2 armor?
Oh, he did. So only just starting up.
Oof.
Well, Baneling's aplenty coming out of Snoot. He's going to have that speed, and of course, let's not forget the additional 5 health they get. This looks like an angry hornet's nest in his main. Seriously, what the f... That patrol,
Did
though.
you see that guy that took in a hornet's nest with his bare hands?
Oh, it was a yellow jacket nest, so it was even scarier. Yeah, and he just squished him. That's brave as hell.
It was dumb. Like, they actually stung him.
Yeah.
It was just
But he was a
unnecessary.
badass, dude.
Remember when we did a rock, paper, scissors to see if we would go near a hornet?
I remember me winning that, not having to go near the hornet's nest. Yes, I do recall.
Yeah, I had to be the big boy.
No, thank
the
you.
house.
I can a raid from like 10 feet away. All right, the Marines are continuing to push forward, but Bailey should be able to deal with this. Now I'm worried about this because, well, it looks like KeeN does have his units rallied more than ample in position and enough of them to deal with this. So small bit of lag there. I'm not sure if that was just me or not.
It was just you.
No, that's not good. But for KeeN, his army's looking good. Both players on a really high supply count, and I mean, upgrades do favor the Terran.
A little.
Well, actually, I take that back because he's just finished up, so it's the +3
Well,
I was looking at starting, yeah.
I thought you meant like 1-2-2 finish, because I assume it's going to finish before they attack, then KeeN will be a little bit faster 3-3, as Terrans are supposed to be.
Those were some nice connects. Snoot didn't even send in all of his banelings for that. He didn't have to flood on in, but now looking to take the fight. That queen count, by the way, has gone from like, what, 14 down to 7. Big surround out of KeeN. He can't quite finish this off, and he's got to back away.
Snoots. Okay, there are the mutas. I was going to say, there's a lot of medevacs. Could be sniped off. And you could probably even add an infestation pit. He still has creep to depend on. He still has a very good army. Sure, he'll fall behind in upgrades eventually, but I think Zerg players are kind of used to that. At least in the +3 attack.
Yeah, I think the volatility of banelings can really help bridge that gap. I mean, yeah, sure, Marines might be able to do a little more damage, but if they're all dead and green goo on the ground, those upgrades don't mean jack squat.
Yeah. Well, he really went quite hard in the mutas. He got him a little bit later, obviously, but he's continuing to make them still. He's going to have like 24.
So far, it's really not a bad choice. There's not that many Marines left, all things considered. It's mostly Marauders and Widowmines for KeeN, and you look at his production tab, he's actually putting a lot of emphasis on Marauders. This isn't 14 Marines being produced at a time.
Yeah. KeeN's also pretty all in at this point. He's still on 3 bases. If he started a 4th base right now, that might be okay. But it's a long time where he's starting to mine out of minerals.
Oh, yeah, that main base saturation, that 3rd base saturation. In fact, gas might start hurting him soon, too. If he lifts up that main to transfer it over, he'll only have the natural for gases, and then how do you replace medevacs that go down?
Scuffle in the middle go as well, I guess. Some reinforcements,
not yet.
mutas.
The muta count for Snoot, by the way, sitting up to 20, and he hasn't lost many. Only 4 have gone down so far. This is pretty good. Downside is, though, not that many upgrades into them. And these are really, really expensive units to have invested this much into. If he were to take one bad engagement, he could lose the game, and he could lose everything. Not just the lead, but the whole game could fall apart for him.
Well, this 4th base is going to be his main, and that's going to be very easily to harass with these mutas.
But this is where it comes down to gases. He's only mining off of 2 gases now. He never took the ones at his 3rd. He hasn't taken the ones at the gold. So any units that cost gas now for KeeN are suddenly far more valuable because he can't really replace them as easily. Widow Mines, medevacs, you name it.
He can probably continue making Marauders and medevacs, but if he ever needs to...
+3. He actually
well,
cannot...
eventually, yeah. +3, but also he's never going to be able to make Liberators, so if it went into Ultras, he wouldn't really have a response.
Yeah, let's see if Snoot recognizes that or sees an opportunity. Right now, he's pretty happy playing on layer tech, and I mean, his army... pretty freaking good, sitting at 130 army supplies, not too shabby, and a lot of this is mutas. We've talked about this, right? Like, there are some Koreans out there like Rogue and others. If they get to 30 mutas, they look unstoppable. Snoot sitting on 22 is looking pretty darn good. I can't even tell the army apart. It's just a blur of red on top of more red, but I do see green, and that means Marines are dying. As the Marines go down, the mutas can pick off the medevacs, they can pick off the Liberators, and kill the Marauders, and I think the Mutalists are going to run away with this game more than anything else.
Yeah, still holding strong at 21, and they have an upgrade. Upgrades or not, KeeN's army is too small.
Size
That's
matters. It doesn't matter what people tell you. Size matters. You scan in actually to see these extra 2 bases. That's going to be the real kicker. GG's get called, and Snoot will take game number 1 here in the finals. But it is a best of 5 and not a best of 3. And because it is the finals, we're also going to play a couple more ads, guys. So stick around. See you in 2 minutes. All right, folks, I'm actually glad we took that break because some technical difficulties have arisen, and I can't seem to join this lobby. This is trying to relog and see what's going on, but let's see if it works. Well, while we figure this out, some stuff in chat was Lacrits says BaseTradeTV or Rifkin, excuse me. Would you go on a date with a stranger? As long as I knew a little bit about them, absolutely. But if it's like, hey, you want to meet this person in the back of an alley and it's definitely not a serial killer, like that's not enough for me to go on. But okay, looks like I got in. Looks like the game's starting. Zombie Up is petting her cat. Ooh,
just like put his head up against me and just kept it there for a little while.
I know, it's like when they're being super gentle. That's like when they're the like, oh, you're the best.
That cat's always the best. Although Smix's cats are, I don't know, man.
Yeah, they're still in that kitty stage.
Encroaching on my territory.
They're super fluffy. They're doing uncharacteristic things. Smix's cats are pretty excellent.
Can't beat Apollo. He used to be King Cat of Twitch.
Well, her cats have tails. I'm just saying.
That makes him even better.
He's working with a disability.
Yeah, and he's got an injured foot. He's got 2 disabilities. It makes him even cuter.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Corsair Cup Finals. We are in game number 2. Bottom left side of the map, or bottom center side of the map, we got the blue Zerg player up 1-0 in this best of 5. It's Snoot.
In his opposition is the red Terran. He is KeeN. Thanks to Black Chip, who donated $5 to me personally.
Yeah, again, I haven't been able to check because I'm running the BaseTradeTV thing right now, but whoever threw $5 my way, if it's the same person, awesome, thank you. And if it was somebody else, thank you as well. Sorry, I was just reading something from Corsair. We are actually, I guess, I've been thinking about trying to make like a guide for this. I know there's like the odd person who comes to Twitch chat, and they genuinely are not trolling. They just don't know what the overlay looks like. They're not used to it. But people asking about like, what's the score? Is this live? I wish there was a way we could convey that without needing to constantly remind people. But just for those who, because I got a genuine Twitter ask about this, like how are we telling the score? I don't know how to tell. Like, I'm not trying to be mean about this, but it's always down here on the bottom left, guys, and it's always gonna say like if it's a best of 3 or a best of 5, unless I've made a mistake with the score.
I feel like those are the people they've come back after a long time now watching StarCraft. They're watching back when like MLG was a thing, and
Oh, you have like the big
default
control N
overlay.
thing at the top here.
Yeah. So when they don't look at the top, or when they look at the top and they don't see scores, they're like, well, what's happening? Or better yet, even before they thought of putting scores up and you just had to ask.
Actually, what bothers me a little bit is like the game heart overlay is really nice. The WCS 2.2 overlay is not even that bad. But what kills me is when you see people casting on them, and it's a habit. It's the old casters who do this all the time, right? They'll hit Control N, and it's like, oh my god, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, please put that away. It's embarrassing.
I mean, that's the thing they do, though, right? Like, you change your scene, and then you had to get your overlay set up, which required even more buttons than it does now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's bad. It doesn't even take that much space at the top. But it's just for me. I'm looking at it, I'm like, we got some great information down here. Please. I will say, by the way, my favorite thing that they did change with the WCS 2.2 overlay, which I think will make WCS broadcasts a lot better this year, is they put the production back in the top left. I didn't mind necessarily that it was in the bottom right, but it was so small in the bottom right, you just couldn't tell where the production was most of the time in the old WCS overlay. So I actually really like the new one a lot. But Game Heart's still, for me, number 1.
It was small, and also the whole thing about like not having information shown. They specifically made it so that the observers had to be good and know when to show certain stats, which is always going to be a thing. Like, a good observer is going to have like kind of like second intuition, levels of stuff, and know that you are about to say you want to look at the production tab and stuff like that. But no, what they did was like literally nothing was shown other than the production tab, so you couldn't even see upgrades. Which, if we don't mention upgrades, you don't have to like show you it.
There's this dynamic too where I know there's still that camp of people, and I feel like it's a minority, but it's like a cool minority where they want to see like, is StarCraft better without information? Because they're drawing comparisons to Brood War, and I feel like the overlay of Brood War could definitely be improved upon too. Like, if it was modular and if it was acceptable to do, like I would change the Brood War overlay, and I don't think it would break things.
I really feel like when people talk about the lack of information being so much better for Brood War, it's not actually lack of information, it's other stuff. But we have a bit of an interesting game going on, so maybe save that for later.
Yeah.
Snoots, he might have thought it was a armory behind this, because he went for a pretty early baneling nests, which you don't need. Yeah, I think that's what he was scared of. Is he even keeping his lings like close to home? I don't know. But it's not, right? It's a 3rd CC for KeeN. I got a Raven, which is very interesting too, and it's starting Stim.
The Raven I'm really intrigued by because we know the damage this can do. This can actually do devastating damage. You got Mutalisk? Not a problem. Auto turrets will take care of him. You want to kill drones? Not a problem. Auto turrets got you covered there too. Hell, an auto turret can actually kill a queen. That being said, he's like rushing for like 1 auto turret. I would have loved to have seen him bank up energy for 2.
Yeah, especially because I think he managed to full Snoot into thinking it was a Banshee. So, like, he really would not have expected auto turrets, but reacts very quickly whether there's 1 or 4, so well, and doesn't do very much.
Well, luckily, because there's no Spire out this early, he will get to float around for a little bit and continue to be annoying. The Hellions didn't accomplish much, but I don't think they were really intended to. They were more like opportunity units. Like, if there was an opening, I think he would have gone for it, but he wasn't trying to force drone kills with these. That being said, the follow-up of this is quite a bit of production. I think KeeN's in a pretty nice spot in that regard, and it's not like he's playing 2 base all in. Auto turrets do so much damage.
Yeah, this is like, it's really funny because like a Banshee eventually is like, well, a Banshee has to go forward enough that it starts to take damage. It starts to take damage, then eventually it gets shot, one last time and it dies, or it gets paired up with the main army and it dies. This Raven will just stay back there for eternity. And Snoot's been getting like 10-minute spires. He cannot do anything about it.
I mean, eternity or, yeah, until the spire comes out.
Shut up. Your face. The point is, like, especially if he just, doesn't go too deep, just puts 1 turret at the back of the mineral line every time there's enough energy, it shouldn't take any more damage, and it should just be free drone loss or mining loss. So.
3 kills on that Viking's not too shabby, by the way.
not too bad. Chris KeeN is not only harassing, also getting his macro up.
Snoot, I want to say, by the way, has an abnormally low amount of queens, at least for what Snoot is. 5. He lost 1 earlier, of course, but I guess with 4 bases and the macro hatchery, he's content.
I guess so. He went up to 77 drones. That's a high number of drones, as well as just really quickly a high number of drones. And maybe that's where the lack of queens went in.
That Viking dived in really deep, and I was like, why? You're just going to get killed by the spore crawlers, but so you can get back, you can kill some of these overlords that you saw with the Raven, so Snoot is actually going to lose like 5 overlords total so far this game.
Oh, those banelings not...
Well, they might hit the Hellions. Even then, the Hellions are better off soaking the hits, but not quite having Hellbats kind of sucks.
Like, only 4 banelings is very scary, because that is, like, snipe territory. They could shift click on those, so he's going to need more to really feel very secure.
Yeah, and he's hiding the mineral lines. He really wants to use this against his opponent. With so many banelings about to pop out of Snoot, even if he does focus fire, he does get a cancel on the hatchery, which is really nice. That Hellion nestled in the back has got some great splash damage on.
Oh, no.
That was going really well for KeeN up until that very last moment.
Yeah. Of course, like, there's a possibility KeeN's really getting affected by the fact he's in Korea and not in Europe, but that was even too late, I think, for that. That was just him looking somewhere else. That kind of sucks. He's still doing a lot of... This might not be racking up a ton of drone kills, but it's got to be distracting Snoot and making him miss injects or something.
Yeah, the best way I would describe this is he's doing a lot with a little. I mean, that one Raven has been chilling back there for so long. It hasn't really racked up a lot of kills, but it's certainly been annoying. These medevacs should not unload. It's going to be bad times if he does. He's going to pick up and fly, but it might be a little bit late. Okay, Queen was blocked out, so she couldn't finish it off, but 26 health on that medevac. 2 widow mines. That would have been devastating to lose.
Well, Snoot's been dealing with left, right, behind mineral line, in front. Like, it's been dealing with a lot, but it's been at a 75 drone count for a long time, and with decent enough defenses that he should still have an okay time against this bigger push, now included with widow mines, 4 widow mines. Snoot doesn't quite have his mutas. He doesn't have to, but
1 health on that Queen. Zerg regen OP.
Skill.
Yeah, true skill. Passive
Snoot's,
skill.
unfortunately, he's been banking out on minerals. He's been supply blocked a couple of times, as well as maybe there's a lack of larva. Has also not taken his 4th base gases, so it's a definite imbalance between the two.
I mean, a considerable amount of overlords did get picked off this game. The supply block is actually understandable for one of the rare opportunities, right? Like, this isn't some pro gamer being lazy. This was him getting picked apart, but the mutas finally come into play. They are going to be chasing this army down. Widowmine's looking to get some shots on something. Oh, no.
Those don't. He ran out of banelings, though, and it's still not advisable to go into an army off of creep, especially if your upgrades aren't done. The upgrades are so similar, though, they would have been perfectly even.
I really want to go back and clean this up. Like, this is so silly. Another queen might go down. So.
Yeah. I sound like 1 muta back here, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, I mean, 1 muta would even kill the Vikings at 17 health. Normally it wouldn't, I guess, if they're full health. But, yeah, he's... Kudos to KeeN. These have kind of paid off at this point. Not super amazing, crazy lookout damage, but slowly over the last 4 minutes, chipping away at his opponent.
Now, Snoot has a bit of more peace of mind, and he has grown his baneling count, so KeeN won't be winning the game instantly anytime soon. That's still a scary situation. A lot of his creep spread is getting cleaned up now, and he is trying to reach for that hive despite still having a very low gas count.
Baneling's got really close to getting a sick hit, but for Snoot, unfortunately, the second he came off a creep was the second KeeN was able to take an advantage in that fight. It's not that much creep, but it's enough that I guess Snoot's got that little bit of runway for him. That hatchery, though.
Yeah. Get him started. Right, this is always such a difficult position for Zerg players, and they've lost all of their creep around the 4th base. The Marauders start touching the hatchery, and you don't want to push into them. It's dangerous, but you decide to push in.
Yeah, he gets really far off of creep, and this works. This not only kills a lot of the ground army, it picks off a lot of those medevacs that have been just floating around forever. It goes from like 1 medevac dead to like 7.
That's true. That's actually a really good point. I was gonna say I really like that Snoot pulled back at the last second. The potential of reinforcements helping clear out the rest of his lings is too large. Kind of what's happening here. It's still gonna be a good trade though.
Yeah, the banelings unfortunately are getting wasted on the Marauders. And he's not on 20 mutas like last time, but he is trying to press the issue. The problem is he's starting to fly into those Marines. They're not wasting shots on lings. They're focusing down the mutas.
One would have mind gonna get a shot. Yeah, he's not quite at that 20 count of mutas where the glaive worms are really starting to rack up, and they can't. They also can't take out Widow Mines too quickly. So that was a overstep, I think, by Snoots. Originally, I think he pulled back. I liked it, and then that was just a little bit too far forward. But he did push KeeN a long ways back. So getting the time to replenish creep. KeeN now second guessing his direction of attack too, giving Snoot a lot of time to recover. KeeN's actually giving maybe too much time. Yeah, kind of went to as if he was looking to go to the gold and then pulled back for a second. He does not have a fourth again in this game. This is his main command center going over to the fourth, which means that Ling run-bys can be deadly as well as just in general. It doesn't give you as much of a good start.
No,
and Snoots still has his fourth base on a fifth on ultras.
Well, it's going to possibly hurt his gas count again. Definitely needs to be brought up. KeeN only mining gas off of his naturals right now.
True that. I mean, Snoot still is having a hard time getting gas, but I think it's evened out as he's been able to calm down and stop fretting. Still would want more though.
Well, plus finally having Ultralists out, he'll be able to retain units a little bit better. So, okay, maybe he's not got the best gas income, but he won't be giving it away as easily. Like when you throw a Baneling away, great, it does a ton of damage, but you lose the unit forever. Like,
yeah, I think his gases will start mining out though. Kind of close to it. So he should be taking his fourth base gases around this time. And apparently he didn't necessarily need them the past couple minutes, but should be soon. The mutas are going to go for a counterattack, finally getting out in the middle of the map. Oh, just kidding. Oh, no!
There we go. It's like, this is all kinds of awkward. But the mutas, I like the idea. I think what Snoot really wanted to do was keep KeeN from pushing. The mutalists, if they hit the natural, would have been able to draw this army back home, ideally, and given those ultras time to hatch and given those chitinous plating time to finish.
There's a lot of Zerg movement, actually. KeeN's going to be attacked a little bit from behind, too. Oh, not so much. Oh, okay, the mutas find nothing but Marines.
And yeah, 6 of them go down.
He's looking up Marauders. Snoot would want his Marauder or his mutas here right now to help clean this up, but they're kind of having to go a long way around.
Well, I'm looking at Snoot's army supply. I'm like, where is it? Right? Like 116. Where?
Yeah, he just was he was caught getting his units this way and that he did have to give up a fourth base, but it wasn't devastating. He's still on a gold, and he does have his ultras already on the way out. So as you said, he's probably going to be able to retain more units and bank a little bit more too. So it kind of sucks. I think if all of his army was prepared, it would have been no problem save on the 4th, but everything was coming back home.
Well, as the army marches into this base, the gold is still going to be trying its hardest to mine. Snoot needs that income. Bailey's got some decent connections, truth be told. And it's funny, because normally going the Marauders maybe wouldn't be good, but the less Marauders there are, the less to actually threaten the Ultralisks. Snoot might not have +3 armor, but he does have chitinous plating, so 6 armor on these beasts.
That is impressive. But Snoot, still keeping his minerals and gas low, can't quite go for the +3 carapace, whereas KeeN has been on 3-3 for some time. Oh no, the Banelings!
The Marauders doing a really good job vanguarding the front. The Banelings end up popping on them, maybe not willingly, but Banelings be damned. The Ultralist Kaiser Blades can get the damage done, as we see just kind of tickling them. Mutas immediately dive for the Liberate. I love that focus fire decision as Snoot, but Widow Mines come in. Ultras are finally starting to slowly get whittled away. Snoot's kind of making a small mistake where he doesn't have a lot of support for these, but he is pushing, and desperately so. But it's another nice pick up. Somebody
my god!
Oh, the glaive
that
worms.
was like all of his army because of mutas.
I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say about that. It was such like the medics were all just perfectly low enough, right? Like if 1 or 2 of those had been full health, maybe they would have gotten out alive. But everything there was at like half health. The glaive worm bounces were too much. It was only like 10 feet he went, but it cost him his army.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen that. Usually Bruce is good enough.
Yeah, that's like clip that moment, put it on a Reddit, get some karma, guys. Like Jesus, that was. If you're a Zerg player, you really enjoyed that moment. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, right. And now Snoot's given a lot of time to basically calm down and get what he wants, you know? Like, his 4th base is back up and running, so he has the minerals and the gas still. I'm a little surprised he still has enough gas, because Snoot is maybe mined out by now, but to go for that +3 Carapace. And I guess he's only remade really Lings at this point. Flooding Lings to help out his Ultras, and whatever Ultras he was making, now joining the front lines.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of these are still injured from that first fight, so it's right for him to run away. But we talked about the support a moment ago. You don't need a lot of Lings, you don't need a lot of Banelings, but enough to just kind of run some havoc. Snoot was diving in with, like, I think 3 or 5 Lings with those Ultras. Now that he actually has an adequate amount, that's going to buy them the time. That might surround the units and hold them in place. They basically just make the Ultras so much better. Oh, these Banelings were hoping to sneak in. I don't think that's going to work.
That does it. Snoot had a couple of drones not mining, finally gets them back in place. He's still oversaturated though, you know, on 2 bases basically, and one of them's a gold. 65 drones is quite a lot. But he's now taking the middle of the map as well, same as KeeN's trying to, but KeeN has to make up so much army.
Well, more importantly than that, he's on top of production, so what little army he has, he brings back home. But, you know, reactors already getting chipped away at. So many Marines just got picked off for essentially free. And let's not forget Mutalisks with that regen, right? Like, cool thing, you shot those Mutas. Too bad it doesn't matter.
Snoot even goes for +2. I thought he was going to get a Juno Glance before he went for more Muta upgrades, but...
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. Or even, hell, an investment in Infestors to some degree. Hold everything in place for the Ultras, right? But setting on a maxed out army supply and starting his bank...
Yeah, starting his bank. Finally adding on gases too, so should also accrue that gas bank. And well, Snoots, they'll have a scary army and a scary bank to back it up. He could go for a greater Spire too. Obviously he has Spire and he's starting to bank. Start adding in options.
I gotta give KeeN some credit though. Regardless of how this game goes, he took the worst loss of all time, you know, in that top right engagement, but he's brought his army back up to like 112. He's fighting not terribly with this. But I think the only thing that was really keeping him well set was his upgrade lead. That's about to disappear.
That too, yeah. Woodamines are going to be helping out. Those Banelings were perfect for killing the Woodamines. And this is the death of KeeN.
It's a massacre.
Game of 2.
It's a massacre.
Yeah. I think he was really thinking about tapping out once he scanned after the medevac.
Yeah,
loss.
he did that. He did that, right?
And he was like, maybe.
All right, well, Snoot, now up 2-0, but he does have to win one more game as it is the best of 5. So stick around, guys. We're going to go to a commercial break. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, folks, we're back. This worked out well because Snoot needed a quick BRB as well. But I think someone actually clipped that moment. I saw it in Twitch chat. No. A CPP Maniac. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Tickling them. Mutism. What is it default to 480p? Come on, I'm broadcasting in 1080, baby. All right, immediately dive for the Liberate. I love that focus fire decision as Snoot, but Woodamines come in. Ultras are finally starting to slowly get whittled away. Snoot's kind of making a small mistake where he doesn't have a lot of support for these, but he is pushing and desperately so. Oh god, those medevacs are like, seriously, they're all in the red.
Oh, God.
Oh, the
my God, that was like all of his army.
Oh, they're seriously like all in the red before that fight even begins. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's a perfect setup.
Oh man. Ugh. Again, really sick to see moves like that though out of somebody like Snoot, but still you're just kind of like, damn, that's not even a balance thing. That's just like the perfect storm.
It was, yeah.
But all right, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 in this best of 5 finals. Spawning here in the bottom right is going to be the red Zerg player. He's currently up 2-0. It's Team Liquid's Snoot.
In the top left is the blue Terran. He is KeeN.
And I have to talk about how amazing this guy's name is. Hoochie Mama wants to know what my relationship to you is. For those who don't know, Zombie Grub was actually a starving African child just a few years ago. But thanks to my contribution of a few prayers a day and a meme here and there, I was able to bring her to America. And yeah, I guess you could call me a sponsor or a saint. It really depends.
If I'm from Africa, why am I white?
Because you adapted to the culture really quickly in America.
Oh god.
My prayers worked really hard. I don't know where I'm going with this. No, Zombie Grub and I are partners in crime, guys. We've been doing StarCraft for a while, and that's it. There's not much more to it, even though a lot of people want to invent this this imaginary life. But I don't know. We get that question enough at this point. I remember when we first started doing this, it was a little bit awkward because it was kind of like, well, what do we tell people? Like, we don't want them to get the wrong idea. But now it's just kind of like, come on, man. If you're really enjoying the show, A, why do you care? And B, figure it out yourself. Read between the lines.
That's more, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's actually very annoying, though. I guess this happens for anything, though. Like relationship status or political preference, or I don't even know. But like people who just make up things and then like assume that they know, I guess.
Well, I felt terrible. I was watching Maynard and Zeph cast, and of course, it's been a while since I've seen anyone else cast with a girl, right? Because it's pretty much just you and me. Then who the hell else is a girl that casts StarCraft, right? But Maynard and Zeph casting, chat was just as bad. So for me, at least, I'm like, oh, well, at least it's not just us. Like,
I'm sure it happens with every time like a girl shows up. But then the real trick is if a girl shows up with another girl, are they both dating or not?
Yeah, Zombie and Zeph were doing some girl-on-girl casting the other day.
It's true. Yeah.
Actually, I'm wondering if Sylvanas and Naruto ever get that. I don't know German, so I wouldn't be able to.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they do. I think I actually talked to Sylvanas. She was at
BlizzCon.
Yeah, BlizzCon at the Korean barbecue. I feel like we might have actually talked about that.
Yo, she was super chill.
Yeah.
I had never spoken to her once before, but she was really cool to talk to. I actually ended up buying one of her shirts just for shits and giggles.
Cool. Yeah, and then I'm sure in the other esports as well. Like I'm pretty sure Shiva gets over for everyone.
So I meant to say for schnitzels and giggles.
No, but she's German. Oh my god. Schnitzels are a thing.
Hey, what color's her hair?
Blue?
No, it's definitely not.
Green?
I'm pretty sure it's green. I could be wrong actually thinking on this now. I don't know why I set myself up for this. This is my bad. This is my fault.
Why would you do that?
I was hoping to go. I had a lot more confidence initially when I asked, but as soon as you said blue, I'm like, wait. Shit.
Yeah. You're right, son.
All right, I'm pretty sure it's green though. I'm gonna say green. Final answer. $1 million question, but Hellions are going to chase off the Lings. Not a lot to be done over here. Snoot does just get away with the third, though, because, well, Hellions aren't... You know, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't Hellions be good at killing buildings? If they're so good against biological and light units, like, isn't that basically what a Zerg structure is?
Well, that's the real question, is if it's a Zerg structure, why isn't it labeled bio?
Wait, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, is it?
I don't actually know. He needs to stop building something so I can see. There we go. Yeah, armored biological structure.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I guess structure, supersedes bio, I guess?
Well, I mean, Hellions don't deal bonus damage to biological. They deal bonus damage to light. But still, the idea there is, like...
Okay, then that's the real question.
Archons, I think, are the only thing that deal bonus to biological, right?
Fuck if I know. I just got light biological confused, man. Like...
I love that answer. Okay, Hellions are going to get some terrible shots on these Lings, actually. I thought this would go way better for KeeN. He was hoping to just run to that mineral line, pick off, like, at least cost-effective levels of drones, but Snoot has got him shut down before he even has a chance to begin.
Yeah. Sometimes Hellion drops are really tricky, You show the Hellions, they think it's all about the front lines or the third base, you go for the drop. It's supposed to be a surprise. Do something. Oh, it didn't. Not that it really determines whether or not KeeN's going to do well in this game, but just a sign of things to come, I feel. Last game, he had an excellent opener, I would say. It took a while to become an excellent opener, but over like 5 minutes, he was killing queens, drones, mining time, distractions. It was pretty good. It doesn't matter.
Someone in chat, by the way, asking, has source quality improved on Twitch recently? No, but we are broadcasting in 1080 for once. But a few weeks ago, I learned how to overclock my graphics card, which was admittedly not performing well at 720. So that fixed it, and now we get really awesome high-quality 1080p broadcasting. I hope you guys are enjoying it.
Overclocking sounds so cool.
It does.
You hack into things.
Overclocking is like the most hacker term that is like the least hacker term, actually. Like, it's probably the easiest thing for anyone to figure. If I can figure it out, I mean, come on. But okay, coming down the middle of the map, Hellions marched with a lot of Marines. Does he have the armor yet? No, so he can't make Hellbats out of these, which is unfortunate.
I think it would have been a cool addition. I mean, he's already being really aggressive, so to add it in, but maybe not worth only 4 Hellions. And, obviously no double engineering bay.
Well, lots of creep to clean up. Liberator set up in 2 different locations, though. Both are shut down, so now Snoot can just focus on the front lines.
Oh, what am I? It's gonna ruin his day. He does need banelings. Or he needs a lot more lings. And he's making 42 more, so that should be it.
That was some sick focus fire, though. And without the banelings available, those queens start falling apart. Snoot's had some pretty clutch holds, though. I'm not going to count him out just yet, but the drones are getting pulled, and that's never a good sign.
Yeah, but that was one of those situations where the drones being pulled was just necessary, not desperate. And he buys enough time for the other reinforcement lings to come through. I'm not sure Snoot was expecting such aggression. He lost the 4th base, probably thought he wouldn't push that far in a creep, I'm fine. And then KeeN defied everything and pushed onto creep. He's not even bothered cleaning it up. Like, KeeN is very dedicated on 2 bases. It's just not a tank push, it's, bio Widow Mines.
Yeah, without Baneling's speed available, it's really hard to get on top of this because there's Widow Mines. If there weren't Widow Mines, the Banelings wouldn't have any fear waddling in like this. But as we see, he pulls them back decisively, and KeeN is just chipping away at these lings. I mean, Snoot's got an upgrade lead, but it doesn't even look like that with the way these engagements are going.
I love that he's transfusing the Spore Crawler. He's really wanting that Spore Crawler to stop the Medivacs from advancing.
It's buying a lot of time, too, and it's probably better than trying to put a queen out there, but I think at this point, Snoot might just be down and out. Down so far in supply, the drones get pulled once again and get surrounded. He will kill the Medivacs with the queens. Maybe this is where he starts cleaning it up, but he's lost so much to make so little happen.
Yeah, it's not like he was on 70 drones, and 8 drones is no big deal. Like, 44 is actually kind of a low amount. If he could push this back for good for 30 seconds, he probably holds him here on out because he can make banelings, but he can't. KeeN's just rallying.
Snoot needs a breather, and he just can't get one. I thought with the Liberators getting shut down so hardcore, this was going to be a much better defense for Snoot, but kudos to KeeN. The aggression never lets up, and he's been controlling it really well. The stutter steps have been on point. Oops, as I hit my mic. And he hasn't been, walking face first into banelings.
Yeah, Snoot does not want to tap out yet, though, because his queen's still alive. He's still got a lot of minerals in the bank, and if his larva ever finally pops, that's when he starts pushing this back. It just happens only ever so often. This is a very cool little split right there. Finally cleans up creep. That's going to be another point in favor of KeeN, but KeeN is rallying, 1 marine at a time, so it takes a little while. And he also, I think, delayed his medevac production for a little bit, like a tiniest little bit. That's what he doesn't have anymore. As Snoot finally started focus firing them. The banelings are now formed. This was like the 30 seconds that Snoot really needed to form some banelings. Also, using his minerals on queens is very smart.
That being said, the concern I have, though, is that there's still quite an army lead for KeeN, and even if Snoot gets amazing baneling hits, that still might not even be enough. That's if he can get those good hits in the first place.
20 army supply, though, is usually where Zerd can do... Because he can still win, basically. If their creep is on their side, as well as, get some decent links around. All the banelings hatch at once. That was a scary sound.
That was a very scary sound, but it's also a scary sight. KeeN gets pushed back off of the creep. Medivacs go down once again, and Snoot is finding a way to stay alive in this game. These queens also have quite a bit of energy banked up now for transfuses. I mean, I kept calling Snoot out. I'm more than happy to be wrong about this.
Oh, maybe I think I'm going to focus fire with the Widow Mines.
That was.
Taking out queens right now.
Oh, they got a little bit far off creep, so transfuses are not going to really be available. Forget what I said. I'm jinxing everybody with no matter what I said. Rifkin's not going to win the lottery. Zombiegrub's not going to be a millionaire.
Why am I jinxed?
Well, no, because it's like the reverse jinx. The opposite of what I'm saying seems to be happening. Like, as soon as I said Snoot's looking good, he starts dying again, right?
I thought you were saying you have bad luck. Another Spore Crawler on the,
also,
side of the defense.
I'm taking you down with me.
Oh, thanks.
But really,
Snoot, as long as he keeps on injecting and never has a moment where he cannot make any more lings,
look at this. This is so cool. Well, so I think the key part of this is the fact that he has been trading out queens for medevacs. And the medevacs are more important to the Marines than the queens are to the banelings. And that's where this game has really come down to, basics. Really just tier 1 versus tier 1 in every way possible. Now, what am I looking for? A magical hit? He gets a pretty good one, but Snoot's also chasing really far off creep. He wants to hold these units in place. The queens are sniping. GG's. Get called. And Snoot, how does he do it? This man is he's a madman.
That was a pretty cool defense.
That was an amazing defense out of a relentless Terran who would not give up. Snoot had no breathing room. Even through pushing that back, there was no moment where KeeN wasn't attacking. That was absolutely fantastic hold out of Snoot. I'm really impressed by that, actually.
Yeah.
Especially because I thought he was dead twice, straight up. But all right, thus concludes the Corsair Cup. So congratulations to Snoot. He'll take home that first place prize. He'll be invited back to that monthly finals. That's 2 Zergs, by the way. Maybe talk a little bit about, I don't know. No, but sort of won the first cup. Snoot winning the second cup. We'll see if Nurchio can kind of dust off his mouse and maybe win the third one. But yeah, 1 more week to go, and then we get to decide who has all the points to get to those monthly finals. The monthly finals we talked about before does have a $400 prize pool thanks to Twitch powering up the Corsair Cup, which was already an awesome tournament in the first place. But there's one small added benefit. The winner of the Corsair Cup finals will actually be awarded points. Everyone else's points will be wiped out for the next month, but the winner of the Corsair Cup monthly finals will get points. So they won't even need to like really compete that much to get into the next monthly finals. It's kind of an awesome reward yourself system. But like, if any of these guys want to come back, if Snoot wins next week's cup too because he wants the cash, go for it. Knock people out. Shut them down. Like, we'll see how it goes. But folks, that does conclude the cast today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. We had some insane subs come in today. And, well, not a lot of action has happened for almost a full hour. We did have Dawson Leary just resub for 3 months saying balls. Thank you all so much for your contributions. But we're going to go to a commercial break, come back to say our goodbyes. But make sure to follow the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any action on BaseTradeTV. We'll be back in less than, 10 hours, 12 hours? Yeah, less than 12 hours from now. We'll be back with the Alima League later tonight. So same Base Trade channel and all that good stuff. But it's at the same time as Flash versus Jaedong. So, you know, maybe join us after that. But we'll be back in a couple minutes. Oh, I'm having a heart attack as I was like, I better have muted myself during that break. But all right, welcome back, guys. Ordered some food and realized that if I hadn't muted myself, you guys would all know where I live, which I guess wouldn't really matter because I'm moving soon, and I guess I can talk about that in a moment. But we get some bits here at the very end of the cast. Some crazy man. Thank you so much. He says, thanks for casting these awesome games. Here's 200 bits. It's our pleasure, and we're glad you guys enjoy the show. It really means a lot to us to have you all come out. 4,000 people for the finals is always awesome to see and makes me a very happy boy. But we are done with the day. So Zombie Grub, if people want to find out more about you or catch, say, an amazing tournament that you're doing in the near future, where can they go and what can they look out for?
You can follow me on Twitter at CG Gaming and on Twitch Zombie Grub. And YouTube is also Zombie Grub. I mean, I'm casting the next 3 days here, but extra preparation, if you guys don't know, Saturday is the Nation Wars Finals, and I will be going back to Paris.
What? I was just talking about the Alima League. What is this Nation Wars thing?
Oh, that's my bad.
No, yeah, because people keep asking, and I have to keep telling you while she's gone too. It's a whole thing. But Zombie Grub will be casting Nation Wars Finals live from France, and you guys better go support her. You better cheer her on. You better go watch that and all that good stuff. But thank you to all the StarCraft badness for subscribing. Is that something we want to have? Is that like bad mojo? I don't actually know.
It's like badass, or just really it's bad.
Badass is badness. Maybe he meant badass, but it's like an English thing. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for your sub. We will be sending replay packs from today out to all of our subscribers, so you guys can check your inboxes a little bit from now, and you'll get some cool games from the matches that happened today. Presently, we have taken off temporarily subscriber-only VODs, so if you guys are watching, you're not subscribed to the channel, you don't want to wait the 24 hours for it to be up on YouTube, you can check it out here on the channel. But of course, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. We're actually up to 12,000 subs now, which is really cool. Woo! And all the games from the first Ting qualifier are already up there. If you want to go watch this, make sure to do so in a spoiler-free manner and enjoy them. Damn, Beyond and Solar already has 2,000 views on it. What the f... That was up like yesterday. That's awesome. But okay. Last but not least, I guess I should talk about myself because my schedule may become a little bit erratic towards the end of the month. So a couple things to discuss is first, we know the website's still down, guys. I'm sorry, we're working on it. So scheduling is a little bit hard to do. You'll have to, like, the best thing to do, follow us on Twitter. Zombie, I've already shouted out her Twitter, but follow me at riff_kings and also the BaseTradeTV Twitter as we tweet about when we go live with events. That being said, I have to move, and I was supposed to have this already sorted out and done, but we got denied by the renters a couple times because my partner I'm doing with this, or what do you want to call her, she's an idiot, and apparently she has really bad credit for some reason, didn't tell me. So I'm like, well, just use mine instead. It's perfect. Hello? Like, so hopefully the next place we apply to shouldn't be any hiccups. I mean, I know that she doesn't have any problems with stuff. I've known her for years, but anyways, Point is, I might be disappearing towards the end of the month or in the early days of February. I'm going to try to do this in a way that's not going to interfere with streaming, if at all possible, but you might see a little bit of an awkward blip in our schedule to compensate. That being said, we are going to be trying to cast as much as possible because we got the Ting qualifiers, Corsair Cups, BTSL, Alima Leagues, all this good stuff. The last note would be we are probably likely not casting any of the IEM qualifiers because I don't frankly want to double down on days where the ad revenue is garbage. Plus, we have to find new dates and times for the Ting qualifiers as the IEM ones currently conflict. I don't want to even imagine trying to force people to pick and choose between one and the other, but also broadcasting both at the same time benefits nobody. Although, for me, at the same time, I'm like, it would be a cool challenge to see how many viewers we could give them. But anyways, that's kind of the, I guess, up-to-date thoughts on BaseTradeTV things. The last thing I'll leave you guys with is that we do have the Korean house up and running. Hopefully by next week, we'll have some really cool video content already pumping out of it. No Regrets is staying in the house, and he's kind of being our man on the ground for us. He'll be doing a lot of the video work with and for us. You've got Cloudy and Time, who are 2 Chinese players who show a lot of promise training at the house. Scarlett's going to be living there. Kellizer just got there today. And Major, I think, is coming next month because he got kind of screwed over with this previous month. But yeah, the training house, I think, will do a lot of good things. I'm hoping it creates a lot of cool content. And we really want to host some in-house tournaments, but that goes back to the fundraiser we're currently running. So if you guys haven't checked it out, last thing to do today before you disappear, type !mega. We have a video that you can watch over there. It will give you the too long, didn't read version of everything, but we'll have a better video up once we have some video content from the house rocking and rolling. So again, today was phenomenal. Crazy amounts of subs. Thank you guys for your support. We love your faces. I don't know who we're going to host, but give them some love too, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.